Hello and welcome along. Today on South West Norway we're going to be getting some of our machinery back to the main farm and trying to seed field 4 and seeing how far we get. So without further ado, let's get going. So if I turn to my left, you can see here we have some of our machinery that we've purchased. We have a Bednar Alpha 6500 ProSeeder. This is both a seeder and a fertilizer, so it does two things at once, which is really useful on a map this size. From the CSZ set, we have a bale spike, a fork, and a pallet fork and a silage stroke manure fork. We have a Deutz 7545 RTS combine with its header here. We have the first of our tractors here, which is a Fendt Favorit 515C. And then if we cross the road, over here we have our other tractors. So we've got a Fendt Farmer 310 LSA, a Fendt 716 Vario, an International 1055A all-wheel drive, and an International 955 two-wheel drive. We have a bale trailer. We've got a JCB telehandler. JCB telehandler. A Krone Big Pack 220 is our baler. Several Fendt weights and a cutter trailer for our combine. There are some other pieces of equipment we have which are at the sale point at the top of the map, and we'll go and pick those up later. But they're things like our Forage wagon and our grain transport trailer. So we will pop up there shortly and grab those. But we're going to get the combine back to the yard first. And then we're going to grab our 716 and take that to field 4. So let's hook this up. Like so. So I'm going to try and use the manual attaching mod as much as I can. I prefer to do it that way. It keeps it a little more realistic, and so will be a little more interesting. Right, there we go. So our combine trailer is there. So we'll just jump out of that and grab our combine. Like that. So this looks like a cracking little combine. It's has a capacity of 9.5 tons. Should do exactly what we're after. Right, so we'll manually attach this. There we go. We won't attach the PTO because we don't need to for this. And then we will just line it up. There we are. And drop it down. And that seems to be on the bed quite nicely. And then detach it. There we go. Right, so we will get this back down to the farm. So currently we own 4 fields. This field to the right, which is field 3. The field to the left here, which is field 4, which is the one that we're going to try and seed today. Field 1, which is already seeded with wheat. And field 2, which is the one on the far side of field 1 there, which also needs planting. So we're going to plant up these 3 fields that need planting first, and then while they're growing, we will work on getting our animals up and running, because there's lots of opportunity on this map for running animals, or doing animals. It's only the basic animals. So sheep, dairy cows, and chickens. The chickens are actually, as we saw in the map tour last episode, are right at the top of the map. So for now, we're going to leave the chickens alone. So for now, we're going to leave the chickens alone. And we're going to just concentrate on the sheep and the dairy cows. This will be much quicker, right? And that will allow us to get some money in from those. And we have a couple of grass fields. Whoa! Right. So after our little accident, we had to reset the vehicles to the farm. We'll get the header loaded back on the header trailer. That was weird. That header trailer is meant to lock the header onto it, so we shouldn't have had that problem. I don't quite know what happened there, but we will get the header back on the header trailer and get that parked up. Just trying to think. As I was saying, we're going to be working with the cows, the pigs, and the cows and the sheep on here to start off with. Just get our combine on that tree, because they are around our main farmyard. I don't quite. The chickens will be a little harder to do because they're a little further away. Right. I don't like that. That's too far on that. Right, so got that again. There we go. Right. So we'll put this back where it was. Check that it's locked on properly this time. So there we go. That's off. We'll go get our Landy again. I don't know if it's because touch cutter. Yeah, that seems to have attached it now. Okay, that's fine. Just park these up over here. Okay, so we're going to jump in our Fendt here. So, nice animation on this that gets us into the cab. Really good. It does, this is a really nice mod, this tractor. It does come, it's by Ego and comes automatically with sort of drive control built in the same way as his John Deere that I've used before does, although it's a little more detailed than the John Deere is, and it does alter the drive control setup for all the other tractors that I'm using. So that is a little bit disconcerting, which is why I'm handbraking and turning the tractor off a little slower than I have before. Right, so we'll back up to it. And this doesn't have, looks like it doesn't have a PTO. And we're not straight on it either. Yeah, it only does the full animation as well if the tractor is turned off. You see, yeah, there's no PTO on it. Okay. Otherwise, it opens and closes the door for you. So, we'll head back down to the farmyard and we will fill this up with fertilizer and seed, and we will get some barley put in it. Okay, so we're down at the yard. Our seed pallets are here, so we will just reverse this up. Where are we? Let's go out of cab view. Yeah, we're right at the end, so we want to come back round here like this. Right. Okay, now let's load her up. Right, there we go. We're all full up. So we head out and we will get field 4 done. So we'll start at the bottom here and work our way across the field. So X, B, and we'll take our speed right down. There we go. And away we go. Oh, we need to get our 4-wheel drive and our diff locks on. Hopefully work our way through this. So I've chosen Fendt tractors for the most part on this, partly because I want to, with FS 17 featuring quite heavily, and this being our one of our last maps before that starts, I wanted to try the Fendt tractor mods that were available in FS 15, and partly because they're not a make that I've used in any of my maps yet, and as a fairly European make, I thought it would be good to use them. So yeah, I fancied having a go with them. The internationals I've got because I like the idea of a farm being sort of a, well, farms change their tractors over time. They don't tend to purchase a whole load of tractors at once. It just wouldn't be economic or viable to do that. So I like the idea that the internationals are the old tractors on the farm, and then you've got three very different Fendts that are of different ages themselves. With this one, the Vario being the most recent addition to the farm, and I like that. I think that's a nice, realistic way that these tractors would be purchased, and you wouldn't need a tractor really of any greater horsepower on the farm than this one. I mean, this is 165 horsepower. It's not the it's not the most powerful Vario of the 700 series mod pack they had. They go up to about 280, I think. But I wanted to keep the tractors I've chosen are all roughly of the same horsepower as the ones that were on the map originally. So I've respected the original modders' sort of layout for how you're meant to start, how you start with, and gone from there. I think it's powerful enough. It's enough horsepower to do what we want to do. I think if we start ploughing, we might have a problem. Most of I'd like to pick up a modded plough, but they all seem to require about 200 horsepower, and we don't have that kind of power on the farm. So that would require a new tractor, and probably would end up getting a 900 series if we went for that. But we don't have any big enough fields for that at the moment. This is this is the biggest field we have, and it's not huge. I think it'll depend when we buy whether we buy any of the other farms. I mean, that could have a big impact, but we'll see how we go for now. We would have to save up for it, of course, and earn enough to get a new tractor. I don't think we need one at the moment, and I'm hoping I've set the game up certainly to begin with everything we need. We of course haven't purchased any animals yet, but we'll get set up. We will start getting set up for that, and we will purchase some animals once we got some grass and some silage and things like that. Probably start with sheep as they're cheaper, but we'll see how we go. Ooh. I would like to try and fertilise these fields at some point with manure. I think that'd be great. I mean, our seeder fertilises as it seeds, so we don't massively need that. But can we? Not sure. Sometimes you can turn off the fertilising function on these modded seeders that have fertiliser. This one, it appears you can't. More's a pity, but yeah. These views are absolutely incredible. I'm loving the look of this map. Just everywhere you look is just fantastic scenery. Oh, I'm coming a bit fast down the hill. Right, and back onto track. I think it will depend on where we finish as to whether we have to go round the headland twice or once. Certainly this side we've only left about 1 width's worth. On the other side I think we've left about 2. But that's fine. I know, in which case yes, I know how I'll do that then. And that'll finish us nicely if I do it that way. So last bit of the field. Hired workers and courseplay would not get on either. Either of them would not get on with this map. This is going to very much be a doing it ourselves map, I think. Which is perfect because we've been spending a lot of the last few maps relying fairly heavily on both courseplay and things like that. So yeah, courseplay especially. I will be using auto combine because you can't harvest really without it. But certainly there won't. I think there'll be minimal to no use of courseplay on this map. I don't think it'd be possible to use courseplay on here. Not with any decent level of success anyway. As I said, that's fine. We have bought a cultivator, I should say, but this seeder also cultivates, so we may end up returning that for getting something else. Do some of this in cab for a while, I think. Speeding right up as we come down. There we go. Trying not to. There we go. Try not to catch anything on the fence. We need to make sure that we still leave the 2 rows worth that we've left on the rest of this side. Otherwise, we're going to run into a little bit of problem. That's all right. We'll stop about there. That's alright. Yeah, that's alright. Tractor's dirtying up nicely. I need to get hold of a pressure washer, I think. Keep up the idea that at the end of each working day or in-game day, we will wash down our machinery. So we won't be doing that every episode. I might be doing it once every 4 maybe. I mean, looking at the time that we've gotten through on this, we're at sort of 11:30 in game, and we'll run it at 5 times speed because I find that keeps it sort of in time with how long it takes to do things in the game. Right, so we'll pop back out of the in-cab view because our next turn will get us onto the headland. We might just have reached with this, but I don't think it would have got everywhere. So I am quite happy doing 2 goes around the headland on this side. I know we will only need 1 on the other side, so that's fine. So we just come down here. Right. And the bit at the start here. Onto the field. There we go. Right, we're on the return straight now, and this will be it. This should finish us up. Just going around the bottom. So yeah, we did leave only one width's worth on this side for the most part. So this should clean it up quite nicely. A couple of small patches that are in this, but not huge ones. I can pretty much live with what it will miss for the most part. We're just going to turn into here so we can catch this, and then we'll come back to the corner. So we've got about 2 widths worth here that needs doing. Take that over to here and lift, and back down. There we are. And this brings us to the entrance to the field, rather nicely. And fold it up. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please like, share and comment. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time. Goodbye.